students. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Anjuman's Biology for class 8, 9 and 10. Today the chapter I am going to discuss is diffusion, osmosis and absorption for class 8. The topic I have chosen from this chapter is transportation in plants. Transportation is a process to take something from one place to another. So in plant, root hair cells in the soil collect water and dissolve mineral salts, and all these are taken to a kind of vessel which is called xylem to the food making part of the plant, that means in green part, especially in leaves. There, in presence of sunlight in the chlorophyll, this water combined with carbon dioxide and produced food for the plants. And you know which kind of food is produced? This is actually carbohydrate. After production of carbohydrate, this has to be distributed throughout the plant body. So another kind of vessels helping to do that. That means this food has to be taken, transported from one place to another, up and down for the nourishment of the plant. And this whole process is called transportation in plants. Some of the processes are involved to describe transportation in plants. And what are those? Those are mainly transpiration, imbibition, absorption, diffusion, osmosis. And the transporting channels are involved for the transportation are xylem and phloem. Although already I have mentioned this before. Let's know transportation through the xylem. Before that, we need to know another process which is called transpiration. Transpiration is a process by which the water in the leaf cells turn into water vapor by the heat of sunlight and comes out through the stomata in the atmosphere. And this creates two things in the cells of plant body. What are those? Number one, it creates a pulling force or suction force in the leaves and or plant body. Secondly, the cells inside the cells of plant body become more concentrated. Naturally, by losing water, concentration of cells have become concentrated, and it is more concentrated than the water in the soil. Let's see how xylem vessels carry water to the leaves. That means transport water from the root hair cells to the leaves. First of all, the water from the soil is entered to the root hair cell by the process of imbibition. Water only crosses the cell wall. After that, this capillary water has to pass cell membrane. In that case, the water has to pass the cell membrane by the process of endosmosis. What is endosmosis? Endosmosis means one-way movement of water. We know the definition of osmosis, that the water molecules from the lower concentration pass to the higher concentration, and we already have learned the concentration of cell surface is higher. So water from the soil easily can pass through the cell membrane by the process of endosmosis. Thirdly, this water from the root hair cells pass to the next cells one after another, because due to the concentration of sulfur. Okay, by this way, the water has to reach to the transporting vessel xylem. Due to the suction force created by transpiration in the xylem vessels, water and dissolved mineral salts goes up to the leaves, and in the leaves, this water used up for the process of photosynthesis and produce carbohydrate foods for plants. Let's have a look at the picture. Here is showing transportation of plants through xylem and phloem. Here the orange line touching the arrows, those are representing xylem vessel, and the red lines are touching the arrows, those are representing phloem vessels. So what happens to the xylem? Look here, the water at the bottom of the picture, water and minerals from the soil entering to the roots and going upward in the leaf toward the leaves, towards the bars, and for what? For to take part in the food making process of photosynthesis. And what kind of food is produced? That is glucose. It's a kind of carbohydrate. After production of carbohydrate like food, that is called glucose, has to be distributed to the all parts of the plant body. For a living body, each and every part needs nutrients to keep it's healthy. So same way, the glucose produced in the green part has to be distributed by another kind of vessel which is called phloem. And look, the arrows showing some of the arrows showing downward and some of the arrows direction showing upward, and to reach the nutrient to the all parts of the body for the nourishment and growth of the plant body. Now, let's see what happens to the phloem vessel. That means how transportation occurs through the phloem. Food is produced in leaves need to be distributed throughout the plant body by another transporting channel called phloem vessel. So what happens? Food produced in leaves first entered to the cytoplasm of phloem vessels. Phloem vessels are living vessel, and it has cytoplasm, but there is no nucleus, and keep connection one cell to another. After entering the food to the phloem vessels, that it reaching one cell after another, and by this way food produced in leaves reaching to the plant parts up and down to provide nutrition for the growth and development of plants. Now the question is, why food is produced in leaves need to distribute all over the plant body? Yes, this is very important. What the foods are produced in leaves are taking part in another process which is called respiration. The foods in respiration oxidize and produce energy. This energy is very important for the other cellular activities, and among them cell division is very important process, because by the process of cell division, plants or any kind of living bodies growth and development ensure. So not only that, food also necessary for reproduction. Here I have tried to make a short discussion on transportation of plants. So transportation in plant is very important process to supply of necessary materials, and for this reason xylem and phloem, there are two kinds of vessels are working simultaneously and according to the requirement of the plants and keeping the plant's body alive. That's all for today.